perhaps there's someone that is listening, that is watching, that has been thinking about, you know, starting on their spiritual journey, or, you know, learning about a certain spiritual practice that is starting to resonate with you a lot more. And you may be afraid or concerned of what people may think if you start on that journey. I would say you may regret it a lot more, okay, if you don't look within to see if that's your truth instead of following someone else's truth, okay? So it's essential to follow your truth, okay? Live in your truth, as challenging as it may be. And it is a challenge. Why? Because you're going against, you know, structures and entities that have existed for eons, okay? You're going against structures who basically control the mindset of the majority of the people. So a lot of that spiritual practice that, you know, a lot of us are awakening to is not the typical way of thinking. So that's why it's a lot more challenging, all right? And it's not meant to be easy. Okay, but doing the work is going to get you results. Okay, so let's get the likes up so that way other folks can see the video. Thank you for those who have commented. So where are you guys tuning in from today? You said the problem is religion gives people the ideal that they don't have to put in the work just as long as they accept. Yeah, because you see, when you're sleeping, that's what I call it. Some people may get offended by that. And I think to some extent, we've all been kind of like in a sleep state at some point in our life. And, you know, we are experiencing our awakening. So there's absolutely no judgment. So what I was saying is, when you are in a sleep state, you haven't awakened yet, you are more apt to do what people are telling you to do. It's like, it's almost like that, the devil energy, so to speak. I always see, get this image of someone, you know, that's controlling the narrative like a puppet. Okay, so yeah. And I think the other thing too is that we get to realize is that living in our truth also allows us to clear our energies of all energies that are not serving us. Okay, because a lot of times when we talk about blockage, we don't realize that it's us blocking ourselves. Okay, a lot of times it's us blocking ourselves willingly by not living in our truth. Okay, it's so much easier to say, well, this person is doing this person is doing that. Many a times the power that someone has essentially is the power that you give them. What does that mean? When you take your power, when you own your power, you walk in your power, then you realize that your steps are being divinely guided. Joe, you said the majority of the world has a belief system. Everyone is searching for a reason. Okay, the reason why we're here. Yeah, it is healthy to talk about the differences. I mean, honestly, truth is truth, right? Truth is truth. I think where it becomes an issue is when you have certain people that that think that their truth is the only one that should be talked about, that should be promoted, that should be pushed. And I often find that those are the people that you kind of like, you have to be like why do you why are you so one-minded when there's so many different people that exist in the world, when there's so many different cultures and spiritual beliefs? Are they wrong? Are they wrong for their beliefs? When these people have, they thrive, they live, they have their being with the spiritual practices that they've been given by their ancestors. So that's where I kind of like draw the line when, certain spiritual practices, and there's some in particular, okay, that do this. And I tend to find that it's a lot of the Euro-Christian beliefs that do this, that tend to pressure people into joining. I see that a lot. Like even on my channel, and this is not something that I've spoken about before, even on my channel, some folks are going to get upset about this. Even on my channel, it's always folks, talking about, come to Jesus. Jesus loves you. Turn away from this tarot stuff. That's the devil. Like I've never had any other group of people that have tried to, steer me in their spiritual beliefs. Like I'll have people, like folks that are shamans, comment on my channel. Like I have all types of people following this channel, and none of them have ever said, leave what you're doing, come and be a shaman. No, they respect it. And this is the thing about, and it's usually always, the those with the Euro-Christian beliefs talking about, come to Jesus. Jesus will save you. I'm like, what the who told you that's who I was? You know what I'm saying? Who told you that's who I was? And what gives you the right to try to tell me that what you believe in is what I should believe in? I am, and I have said this on my channel previously, I am a vaudouisan, okay? I practice my people's spiritual practice, okay? The Haitian people, they practice vaudou, and this is who I am, all right? My emblem is a veve. That is the symbol of the Taino and Arawak people, okay? That is their language. So I follow my spiritual practice. What gives you the right to tell me, come to Jesus? Who's your Jesus? And why should I follow it? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and yeah. It's a system that has functioned for quite some time. Okay? The Catholic Church, all right, this is gonna really ruffle some feathers. I know y'all like, girl, just read them tarot cards and keep going. No, because there are a lot of people in the world that are suffering because of the imposed spiritual practices, the beliefs. Okay? And that's just that. Yeah, I know. Y'all like y'all like, you talking politics. No, I'm talking reality. Okay? I'm talking reality. If you want, fairy tales and fake stuff, you want to talk about what's not real and stuff like that, I'm not that person. I'm going to tell you the truth. All right? I'm going to tell you the truth in my messages, as well as, when I speak to the general who are listening, okay? Those who are listening, like, the truth. There's been a group of people that have had their grips on the general population for quite some time. Okay? And this is speaking from a Haitian woman. Okay? My people have suffered under the hands of the Catholic Church for quite some time. The Catholic Church is the one that's controlling the educational system. They're controlling the spiritual beliefs of the Haitian people. And this is part of the reason why they're not able to progress. Some of you didn't know that. You listen to my messages all the time, yet you don't know the background that I come from. Okay? The messages sound good, yet the messenger has a background. The Catholic Church is evil. I'm saying that out loud. They're evil. They have controlled the minds of the Haitian people, their education, their spiritual practices for quite some time. One thing you may not know is that there's a church in almost every corner, you know, of major crossroads, openings, because they know what's up. They know about our spiritual practices, yet they use it. They try to use it against us. Okay? The Catholic Church, all right? They're evil. And they've had their grips on my people for too long. And as a Haitian woman that knows the power that I have with my voice, all right, I repel your energy. I repel your spiritual practice. I rebuke you. I block you from my people. And I ask that you release your grips on my people and let them live. Y'all know what's going on in Haiti, okay? So if you follow my channel and you know this, okay? You know I'm Haitian. The Catholic Church has had their grips on the Haitian people for way too long. Way too long. Y'all may not know this, but they have. And for those of you who are Haitian and are still practicing Catholicism, perhaps it's time that you rethink that spiritual practice. Perhaps sometime you do your research about where it is you come from. Perhaps it's time you think about what was the source of your freedom. It is because of Haiti that the world is what it is today. It's because Haitian people decided to free themselves from the oppressive state that the world is the way it is today. Yet Haitian people turned their backs on Vodou, which is the spiritual practice that freed them. Think about that. Like what type of like mental captivity do you have to be in for you to continue to serve the people that held you in bondage? And you know what? A lot of folks, even here, are still in bondage, yet they don't know that. A lot of folks are still in bondage here in the States. But they'll say, nah, I'm not. I got my good job. You know, I got my pension, this and that. A lot of you are going to be rethinking that in terms of what I see, but this is not, you know, this is not any kind of like, what do they say? It's not fear mongering, but if you've been following, you see what's happening. Okay. The very system that you've been loyal to, many of you already see that it's not loyal to you. A lot of you are rethinking this. It's called captivity. You said, Joe, you said, you think it's awesome that God allows us to have our issues and invite the conversation? Yes. We should be able to speak our minds. And that's what I was saying earlier about those blocked chakras. like why it is that it's so much easier. Well, I started out by saying that like being on this spiritual journey is not, it's not easy. It's not easy. It takes work, right? And it's the work that a lot of folks are not willing to do, or they're scared, they're frightened to do it. But not doing the work oftentimes is what blocks us. It blocks our throat chakras. Like for many of you, many of you don't even know why it is that you're afraid to speak your truth. You have blocked throat chakras and all sorts of stuff. You're under the control of some kind of spiritual belief, and yet you're very loyal to that thing that's blocking your path. So that's what we started out with. Like being on this spiritual journey, it's supposed to be work, okay? It's supposed to take work. It takes willpower. Like the people that you see that's doing the work, they didn't just get up and start doing it overnight. Like, so I think that's what deters a lot of people from doing the work, is that they think that if they weren't born that way, or if there's blockages, that there's nothing that they can do. Okay, that's just the way it is. Not necessarily. It's never too late for you to start. It's never too late for you to start. Okay? Yeah, so if you have not done some, research on the Haitian people, okay, this is where I come from. Okay, Haiti Boyo Quisqueya, the land of Taino and Arawak people. Do your research. Okay, do your research. There's a lot going on right now with that place. Yet they are resilient people. Okay? You said it takes years, Wendell? Martine, Aibobo. Some folks may not know what Aibobo means. Some folks may not know what Aibobo is. Aibobo is like a ashe. Okay, it's like saying ashe or amen or it is so. That's what it is. The truth has been spoken. That's what that means. Okay. So some folks are, there's still a lot of us that are still waking up. So if you have not found the strength to wake up quite yet, to, make changes, the necessary changes for you to live your best life, I encourage that you do so. Absolutely. Scorpio Chiffon, member in the house. Yeah, clearing the blockages from the chakras removed your fears. And how did you clear those chakras? What work do you do to clear those chakras? It takes work. Meditation, spending time, in solitude, eating the right kind of foods. It does take work. So I hope this message helps someone. Okay? I'm going to pull some cards. Listen, that energy, okay, you said, okay, yep, learning definitely is one way to help yourself. All right, reading books. You know what? You know one thing that our people used to do that they don't do anymore, and I'm talking about like Haitian people, or this is not just Haitian people. It's actually, a lot of tribes elders know about this. Like, people used to go to the elders and speak to them. They used to speak to the elders, the ones that's been here before. Like the elders would share their knowledge and pass on their knowledge to the ones that are coming forth, because they knew that the ones that are coming are the ones that are then going to replace them. Nowadays, I mean, not all elders are like this. I feel like a lot of elders really don't know the importance that they have. So I'm speaking to the elders right now, okay? If you consider yourself an elder, okay, your wisdom is valued. Your wisdom is so valued. Whatever it is that you know about your culture, about your people, about the way of being, that spiritual practice that, that was forced out of you, it is valuable. Because you have a population of young folks that are coming up who are lost. They're lost. Okay? So if you're an elder, the young ones are lost without you, regardless of whether or not you think you're an elder. Okay? If you're not an elder, if you're someone who knows anything, you have wisdom, you have knowledge about your people and their spiritual practice, you have something of value that the young folks coming up need. All right? That knowledge is needed. It's valued. Okay? This is coming from someone who knows what it means when an elder, gives you knowledge. It's like giving you a warm hug. Okay? Your wisdom is valued. Okay? As an elder, your wisdom is valued. For some of you that may not know that, because I know that social media tends to want to replace, the wisdom of the elders. Now it's about what Google says instead of what the elders say. The elders are speaking, yet the young folks want to know what Google said. Oh, I'm just going to find it in Google. Nah, before Google existed, your ancestors existed. Before there was a Google, there was your parents, okay, that used to teach you information that is valuable for your survival. Because guess what? This is especially for the young ones. You may think you know, okay, and you may think that Google has everything, but the things that you need to survive, the things that are going to help advance your life and your people, they are not going to come from Google. They're going to come by speaking to those who came before. Okay? So this is for the elders as well as the young folks. Like, it's got to be a coming together. It's got to be a mutual respect that's reestablished. Otherwise, it's like we're just going to leave it to AI. Y'all want to do that? You want to leave it to AI? Let AI handle it. They got it. They know what's best for you, humans. They know what you need. Artificial intelligence. They know the deal, right? They know what you need. All right, y'all. Y'all want me to pull some cards or just call it a day? Yeah, for real. Like, at what point do you say enough? Like, think about that. At what point do you say enough? Enough is enough. All right, so I'll pull a few cards and see what the energy is showing up. Reiki, yes. So Scorpio Chiffon, so these are the things that helped you raise your frequency: being in solitude, listening to pan-hand music, Reiki. What else you said? Let me see. Adira Velro, you said you received downloads from Dream State. Yes. But, not but, I'm learning. And I've noticed that being able to dream and connect with the spirit realm has a lot to do with what's going on in the physical. Do you know how many folks don't dream because they're not at peace in the physical? Okay, the word Vodou means one who is at peace in the invisible, that is therefore able to become a light in the visible. I give thanks to my teachers who taught me that. Vodou means one who is at peace in the invisible, who is able to become a light. One who is at peace in the invisible and is able to become a light in the visible. So what that means is the physical and the spiritual realm are connected. Okay? So that light that you are in the physical, that you're supposed to be, it cannot be, or it's hard to, let me not say cannot. It's challenging to do that if the things that you get to take care of in the spiritual are not taken care of. So this goes back to the conversation. A lot of folks are not dreaming. They're not receiving messages from their spirit guides because they're not living in alignment with their truth. You want your ancestors to come speak to you in your dreams, yet, okay, you don't even acknowledge them? You looking for guidance? You looking for which way to go? Yet you're the same person that has renounced and you destroyed your shrines and you destroyed this and that. You said, okay, I don't want to deal with that stuff. That was my ancestors. That's not me. I don't do that stuff anymore. Yet you want them to come and talk to you. You don't pour libation. Okay. You don't do the spiritual work, yet you want the results. You want the end results. Right? So that speaks to that dreaming, Ade Rivero, that the guidance that you receive from your ancestors comes from the work that you're doing in this realm, in the physical. Okay? Roanne, you said, do you recommend any special rituals or practices for the solar eclipse tomorrow? I'm still learning about that myself. What I would say is, in regards to whatever it is that you don't know, your spirit guides will reveal to you what you need to do. Okay? What you get to do to be in alignment. You ask. Okay? I'm not sure what, in answer to that question, Roanne, just to be truthful, I think you get to ask. All right? Because there may be something that you get to do that is especially for you. All right? That is important for you to receive communication or messages. So I would say ask. And in terms of asking, that goes back to the same conversation. Connect with your ancestors, connect with your roots, where you come from. I guess in a sense I am giving you some pointers, or I should say I'm pointing you in the right direction, I hope. Right? my cat says okay. Roanne, absolutely. You said you left the church when you realized that much of this information come from sources that they forbid. Yes, it comes from sources that they stole the information from. Let's be clear. They go to all these countries, learning about their traditions, not really being fully in tune with